Which one of the following items gives its correct total number? Which one of the following items gives its correct total number? See option 1. Cervical vertebrae in humans 8. Cervical vertebrae in humans 8 not. Actually 7. So option 1 is wrong. Floating ribs in humans. Floating ribs in humans are 4. Floating ribs in humans are 4. This side 2, this side 2. Totally 4. Second option is correct. Amino acids found in proteins. That means proteins contains amino acids. How many amino acids are found in proteins? 16. Wrong. Actually, amino acids, 20 amino acids are present in proteins. 20 amino acids together make a one protein chain. Fourth, types of diabetes 3. So types of diabetes 3 not 2 only. That is diabetes insipidus, diabetes mellitus. Therefore, the correct answer is 2. Nineteenth question. In human body, which one of the following is anatomically correct? In human body, which one of the following is anatomically correct? One is cranial nerves. Cranial nerves 10 not. 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So option 1 is wrong. 2. Floating ribs 2 pairs. Yes. 1 pair this side, 1 pair this side. Floating ribs are 2 pairs. Second option is correct. Collarbones 3 not. Collarbone is 1. It is the only long bone in the body that lies horizontally. Horizontally long bone in our body is collarbone. Collarbone it is. It is also called clavicle bone. So third option is wrong. 3 pairs they say. So that is wrong. Salivary glands 1 pair. Wrong. Actually in our body salivary glands are 3 pairs. Submaxillary glands, parotid glands, sublingual glands 3 pairs. Here already I said. Okay. So among those 4 options, the correct option is 2. Floating ribs are 2. 2 pairs, 2 we should not say. 20th question. Answer. The contractile protein of skeletal muscle involving ATPase activity. See, ATPase enzyme is involved in the production of ATP in the myosin. If you read myosin topic, then you can understand. In the myosin head, ATPase enzyme is present that is helped for the formation of ATP. The ATP is important for the formation of cross bridge, for the breakage of cross bridge. Therefore, tropomyosin. So, tropomyosin is a part of actin filament. So, in that, tropomyosin does not have ATPase. Okay, option 1 wrong. 2, myosin. Myosin is correct option. Third, actin. Actin. So actin nothing but thin filament. So in actin filament ATP is not there. Troponin. Troponin also a part of actin. So there tropomyosin is a part of actin. Therefore 1, 3, 4 options wrong. Myosin. Myosin. Second option is correct. Myosin is also called thick filament. An acromion process is characteristically found in acromion process. See, pelvic girdle of mammals. Pelvic means buttocks region. Buttocks region acromion I did not say. Option is wrong. Skull of frog. Okay, actually in this discussion, frog topic only we did not discuss. So it is irrelevant directly. Skull of frog. Third option, pectoral girdle of mammal. Yes, pectoral girdle. See, acromion process. Our pectoral girdle consists of collarbone and scapula. Below the scapula there is a cavity that is called, below the scapula there is a elevated ridge that is called acromion process. Below the acromion process there is a cavity called glenoid cavity. In glenoid cavity the shoulder joint is attached. Humerus is attached and form a shoulder joint. So third option is correct. Pectoral girdle of mammals. So in these four options directly, second and four options are not at all related. Sperm of mammals, it is not related. Second four is not at all related. If you remove those two, remaining two, pelvic, pectoral. Pelvic is related to buttocks region. Buttocks front, back, left, right, buttocks region. Okay, so that the correct option 21 question is third. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? This is the question they have asked in 2005. Cartilaginous joint, correctly matched. Cartilaginous joint, skull bones. In skull, I did not say about cartilaginous joint. So option 1 is wrong. Hinge joint, between vertebrae, actually hinge joint is elbow joint. So second option is wrong. Fibrous joint, between phalanges, digits, I did not say. Fibrous joint is present in skull. So fibrous joint also wrong. So ultimately 3 was wrong. So 4th was correct. Let us see. Gliding joint, between zygapophyses means articular surfaces of the successive vertebrae. Okay, gliding joint. So the gliding joint, where is located? Between the articular surfaces of the successive vertebrae. In our vertebral column, successive vertebrae. So successive vertebrae means what? Between two vertebrae, there is a joint that is called gliding joint. Gliding joint. Option 4 is correct. So between the zygapophyses, there in brackets write. Articular process of vertebra. Articular means attaching surfaces. Articular surfaces of vertebra are projections of the vertebra. Projections of the vertebra that serve the purpose of fitting. That serve the purpose of fitting with an adjacent vertebra. Adjacent vertebra, adjacent vertebra, adjacent vertebra. So nearer successive vertebra is attached with each other with the help of articular processes. Those are also called zygapophyses. Zygapophyses. Okay, zygapophyses. So 22 question. Correct answer is 4. 23rd question. Which of the following are the regulatory proteins in the muscle contraction? In muscle contraction, regulatory proteins. Yes. So muscle contractions are regulated, controlled by the proteins, troponin and tropomyosin. It is a direct question. If you read troponin, tropomyosin topic thoroughly, then you can keep answer. Option 1 is correct. Troponin and tropomyosin, these two are the regulatory proteins in muscle contraction. So why not remaining troponin and actin? So troponin and actin both belongs to same part. So second option is wrong. Third, myosin and tropomyosin. Myosin and tropomyosin not. Tropomyosin is a part of myosin and tropomyosin. Okay, myosin is different. So that third option is wrong. Fourth, actin and tropomyosin. Okay, actin is both are one part. So actually, so troponin and tropomyosin, these two are present in actin filament. Okay, so these troponin and tropomyosin. Troponin consists of three subunits: troponin T, troponin C, troponin I. Okay, that is regulatory protein. Next, 23rd question. 24th question. Hmm. 24th question. Source of calcium ion for muscle contraction. Sources of calcium ion for our muscle contraction is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid. In case of, what is the source of calcium ion for muscle contraction? Is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid in case of. Okay, so the option: skeletal muscle, sources of calcium ion for muscle contraction in case of skeletal muscle. A, B, C, we have to find one A only, B and C only. Yes. Sources of calcium ion for muscle contraction is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid. So, for muscle contraction, sources of calcium ion is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid. In case, option 1, A only, skeletal muscle. Option 1, while in the case of skeletal muscle, fiber calcium ion is. So option A is wrong. A only. Okay. So sources of calcium ion for muscle contraction, skeletal muscle not. Option 2, B and C only. Smooth muscles and cardiac muscles have lesser amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. So that calcium ion, so the major source of calcium ion is extracellular fluid. Okay. So second option is correct. See here, sources of calcium ion for muscle contraction is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid in case of skeletal muscle, in case of smooth muscle, in case of cardiac muscle. So, in case of smooth muscle and cardiac muscles, generally smooth muscles and cardiac muscles have less amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, less amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. So that so the major sources of calcium ion is extracellular fluid. So the major source of calcium ion is extracellular fluid in case of smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. In case of smooth muscle and cardiac muscle, major sources of calcium ion is less amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay. In case of skeletal muscle is not a extracellular fluid. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. Listen here carefully. This is a little bit complicated. So this related information in our book also not there. It is out of syllabus. See here. So sources of calcium ion for muscle contraction. For the muscle contraction, the main is calcium ion. So that source is both sarcoplasmic reticulum as well as extracellular fluid. They are same, but actually, so in case of smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, the sources of calcium ion is extracellular fluid. Why? So in smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, sarcoplasmic reticulum is less. That less amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum does not supply calcium ion. So that for smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, sources of calcium ion is extracellular fluid. But skeletal muscles contains excess amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. So that in case of skeletal muscles, sources of calcium ion is sarcoplasmic reticulum. In case of smooth muscles and cardiac muscles, sources of calcium ion is extracellular fluid. Why, sir? You may get doubt. Why, sir? Why for smooth muscles and cardiac muscles extracellular fluid? Why not sarcoplasmic reticulum? So smooth muscles and cardiac muscles, in these two muscles, sarcoplasmic reticulum amount is less. That lesser amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum does not supply calcium ions. But extracellular fluid means what? Outside the cells, extracellular fluid. It is like a cytoplasm, sarcoplasm, cytoplasm, like that. Sarcoplasm, cytoplasm, both are same. In case of smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, sarcoplasmic reticulum number is less. That sarcoplasmic reticulum does not supply sufficient calcium. That's why. So the sources of calcium in case of second option B and C, in case of smooth muscles and cardiac muscles, extracellular fluid. In case of skeletal muscle, they did not give. In the question also they did not give. What about skeletal muscles? General I am saying. In case of skeletal muscle, sarcoplasmic reticulum is the sources of calcium. Why, sir? Sarcoplasmic reticulum is present more and more in skeletal muscles. Already we discussed it. Okay, in skeletal muscles, the amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum is more and supplies sufficient calcium. But smooth muscles and cardiac muscles don't have excess amount of sarcoplasmic reticulum. That's why in case of smooth muscles and cardiac muscles, the sources of major sources of calcium is extracellular fluid. Okay, so I think so you have understood. Okay, 24th question is 2. Why not remaining? A and C not, B only not. Okay, that's all. So that first, third, fourth options are wrong. Second option, that is B and C, is correct option. So 24th question correct option is second. 25th question. Okay. You can say, if you study about muscle fibers, I said types of muscle fibers. If you study that topic, then you can say the answer. Which of the following is not applicable to red muscle fiber when compared to white muscle fibers? If you read red muscle fibers, white muscle fiber, red muscle fibers also called myoglobin. If you read that particular topic, then you can say the answer. Okay. Which of the following is not applicable to red muscle fibers when red muscle fibers are compared to white muscle fiber? Here see, sustained contraction for a long period. Yes, red muscle fibers sustained contraction for a longer period. Okay, option 1 is correct. Option 2, rich in myoglobin. Yes, myoglobin protein is the rich excess. That's why these are seems to be red in color. Okay, myoglobin is what? Oxygen storing pigment. Second one correct. Third, faster in contraction rate. See, faster in contraction rate. First option, third option, C. Contraction for a longer period. That is correct. But third, contraction, red muscles contraction is not faster. That keep aside. Fourth, rich in mitochondria. Myoglobin contains excess amount of mitochondria. Okay, so the 3 options were correct. Third option is wrong, not applicable. That function is not performed by the myoglobin, red muscle fiber. Then what's that? So in the place of third, they must give red muscle fiber contraction rate is slow and for a longer period. But they did not give contraction rate is slow. They gave contraction rate is faster, but contraction rate is slow. In red muscle fibers, the contraction rate is slowly happens. That slow contraction rate would be longer period. Okay, na? So 1, 2, 4 correct functions performed by the red muscle fibers. Third is not performed by the red muscle. So actually red muscle what performed? So contraction rate is slow, but sustained contraction for a longer period. But they given faster, contraction rate is faster. Therefore, the third function is not applicable to muscle fibers. Okay, downside one line you write, because in myoglobin this point might not given, this point. Okay, so write down, so that write down. In red muscle fiber, contraction rate is slow. In red muscle fiber, contraction rate is slow and for longer period. In red muscle fiber, contraction rate is slow and for longer period. That means what? Contraction is a longer, contraction rate is slow. I think so. You have finished that sentence. You must write. In red muscle fiber, contraction rate is slow and for longer period. 26th question, see. 25th question is third option. 26th question, see. 26th question, see. Try to read. It is the application question. See, what is common between the muscle fibers of extensor muscles of human back and those are the flight muscles of the birds, which remain in flight for longer periods of time? This is actually this type of which we will not study. It is the application oriented question. So like 24th question, 24th also application type one. Okay, 26th also application oriented. So they have, what is the common between muscle fibers? For us muscle fibers are there, for bird also muscle fibers are there. Especially in our body muscle fibers, extensor muscles. Here you have to learn the meaning of extensor. Extensor muscles, meaning write down. Extensor muscle which attach to the back of extensor muscle which attach to the back of the spine, spinal cord. These are called extensor muscles. Back of the spine. Spine in the sense nothing but spinal cord or vertebral column. These muscles allow us to stand. Allow us to stand and lift, objects. OBJECTS. To stand and lift objects. Okay, extensor muscles in our back. So once you practically you do, when you are bending while you are lifting any object, backside muscles will give support to us. Okay, so that what is common between the muscle fibers of extensor muscles of human back and same of flight muscles of the bird? Same in our back, what type of muscles? The same in flight muscles of the bird, which remain in flight for long periods of time. Yes, while bird is flying, those backside muscles helps for the bird to fly for longer time. What is the difference? What is common between these two? That is they are asking. So they have given A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. GH. So what are the common? Among those all characters, some are common in our body and bird body. Can you guess? It's very difficult. See, they are thinner or red color. Yes. What options given? You read. Now I will not read. So the correct option I will say. Option 1 is correct option among those. Okay, so option 1 is correct. So what are those option 1 rules? So they are thinner and red color. In our back side, bird back. So those are thinner. Okay. So muscle fibers are thinner and red color. Option A. C. They have abundant mitochondria. Okay. Even in our body, muscle fibers also abundant mitochondria. So what is the purpose of mitochondria? Specifically, we did not say, as we studied already. So mitochondria are called powerhouses of the cell, so that energy produced. ACE, they show contractions for a longer periods. So backside muscles, contractions shows longer periods. In some of the body parts, in front body parts, contractions will not show longer time, but backside contractions will show longer period. Okay, like us, even in bird also, see, they show contractions for a longer periods. A, C, E, G. They don't get fatigued early. So whatever the muscles were there, backside muscles, they don't get fatigued early. In bird and our body, these are common. Okay. Okay, that's it. So the option 1 is correct. Okay, remaining options were not. Okay, that's all. See here. Here, that is it. One option, B, D, F, the remaining options were not correct. Later you see that. Okay, that's it. 27 question, come to 27 question. 26 question is A. 26 question, answer is A. 27 question, answer C. During muscle contraction, which of the following does not take place, does not occur? Does not occur. See, does not occur means what? Does not take place. Okay, during muscle contraction, when muscles are showing contraction, which of the following does not take place? See, no change in the length of anisotropic band. Same diagram. 305. Okay, many times I have drawn the same diagram. See, no need diagram. Just if you follow, you can understand. No change. No change in the length of anisotropic band. Option 1 is wrong. So in anisotropic band, no change in the length of anisotropic band. In A band, so any changes does not take place. Okay, so option 1 true. Next, decrease in length of isotropic band. Anisotropic I band, A band. Decrease in length of decrease in length of A band is decreasing. No changes of anisotropic band. These two are correct. So third, no change in length of A band. A band and anisotropic band both are same. So these three takes place. But the question does not occur. Decrease in length of actin myofilament. Decrease does not take place. Okay, actin and myosin filament. Okay, as you know that it is actin, it is myosin. They say decrease in length of actin myosin filament. They said, but does not take place. Decrease does not take place. So its length always remains the same. Okay. So fourth option, correct option. According to the question, during muscle contraction, which of the following does not occur? Does Does not occur means what? So these length does not take place. But they said decrease in length. So decreasing process does not take place. Therefore, the correct option is 4. Okay. So remaining takes place. Remaining all. So 1, 2, 3 options are actually whatever the statement given, that is actually performed. But the fourth does not perform. So does not occur. So that the correct option is 4. Actually during contraction, length of actin myosin filaments does not change. But they said it does. So that fourth is the correct option according to the question. Twenty-eighth question. 20th question. What would happen if ATP suddenly were not available after the sarcomere had started shortening? Relaxation. After sarcomere had started shorten. Shorten means relaxation. What happened? See, what would happen if ATP suddenly were not available after sarcomere had started to shorten? First, cross bridges would not be able to detach from actin. This first one is that. Cross bridge would not be able to detach from actin. Myosin heads are attached to the actin. Yes. So if suddenly ATP production stopped means what happens? So detachment does not take place. Next, muscle would remain in a state of rigidity. The muscles become thick and stiffness. Muscle would relax immediately. Thought is not. If ATP is there, muscles relax. So ATP not there means muscles would not relax immediately. So the muscles becomes stiff. Therefore, the correct option is 1, 2. So that the option is 4. This is called what? I said while I am saying the lesson. What we will call, if this condition is arised in our body, that condition, that phenomenon is called what? While I am saying lesson, I said one statement, one word for this. Is anybody can say? While I am saying that, I said if suddenly ATP production is stopped in our body, then cross bridges does not break. If the cross bridges does not break, then the muscles will slowly becomes stiff and strong. This phenomenon is called, hello, I am asking you, is anybody can say? That is called rigor mortis. In dead persons, it is happens. In dead persons, the production of ATP was stopped. Then the cross bridge does not detach, does not break. Then the muscles becomes stiff and strong. Okay, so ATP is there, muscles would relax, contraction, relax, contraction, relax, contraction. Okay, that's it. So the correct option is 28.4. So the ATP is required in what places? For the formation of cross bridge, for the detachment of cross bridge. For both the processes, ATP is required. Okay, 29th bit try to say. 29th bit, if you are, no one is responding except 2-3 students. Amaresh, Rani, Aishwarya, Amaresh, are you there?